Welcome to this week's episode of Build the Weight Loss Practice of Your Dreams. I'm your host, Carol Clark, and this week we are talking about 4 different ways to maximize revenue in your practice. And it's 4 ways that may not be something that is top of mind for you. And coincidentally, these practices actually work across many different specialties. So if you have a colleague who might benefit, feel free to share it with them. But in the meantime, let's get right to it. So we always want to maximize revenue, and not only revenue, but profit in your practice. So that makes you sustainable. It also allows you to reach more people and really help more people in your community. So it is something that's important and something that we talk about a lot. And these 4 things are actually things that I've implemented in our practice and with practices across the US, so I know that they work. So the first one really is to increase your authority. And I know a lot of times we really want to focus on the patient and what's their needs, but they need to know the expertise that you have and why you are the right choice for them to work with, why you're the one with the services that will help them and the products that will help them. So you need to go ahead and build your authority. And I want to talk about 2 different things. The first thing is don't harm your authority. So what I mean by that is we don't want to go outside of your particular values or your particular services that you offer or get too flashy. People don't tend to trust that. They would much more likely trust someone who is speaking to them sincerely and really addressing their greatest needs. So we want to make sure that you really don't compromise your authority out there, and you want to make sure you're authentic to your practice, to your team, to your patients. So you do that by speaking from the heart, writing from the heart, doing lots of different things that will promote your authority, but not harm it with things that really aren't something that is in the way that you like to practice. I see this sometimes when I do videos for practices. I recently had one, and the physician had lots of different ideas, and this physician wanted to stick to just a certain number of them, and I totally respect that. That was what was best for her, and that's what we ended up using, and that's going to work best for her to attract exactly the patients that she wants to work with, not a lot of other patients that might not be the right fit for her particular practice. So you do need to make sure that you are true to yourself. So you don't want to harm your authority by representing something other than what it is that you want to do, that you can provide results with, and not getting too flashy. People don't tend to trust that. The other thing is to protect it. If you end up with some sort of a review out there that might not be something that could just be a misunderstanding, you want to make sure that you respond to those, that you reach out to that person and do some service recovery. It's really important. So you don't want to harm your authority. The other thing is you want to build it. And in order to build that, it requires you sometimes doing things that you might not want to as much. It involves you sharing your opinions about weight loss, about your specialty, about what you see going on in the world, about gimmicks, about myths, about things that really work. And it involves you being able to share that in an authentic way for the patients that really desire or need your services. So you have to be very authentic and build that authority. You can do that through video posts. You can do it through writing. You can do it just through graphics. You can do it through webinars, through podcasts. If you're a podcaster, you can do it through written books. I mean, I have done all of these different things. And granted, I love doing videos and writing. I didn't always like it, but the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. So I'm not perfect at anything by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm passionate about helping physicians really build a practice that they thoroughly enjoy. So that comes through, I hope. And your patients need to see the same thing from you. So you do want to not harm your authority, and you also want to make sure that you build that, because that will build a path to your door and help keep you from being the best kept secret in town. The next thing is to maximize your revenue streams. And you may say, Carol, I only have 1 revenue stream or 2 revenue streams, and that's okay. So I encourage you to track your revenue streams, whether it's medical weight loss, surgical weight loss products, aesthetics, anything else that's associated with weight loss that you particularly offer. Could be injections, appetite suppressants, lots of different things that can go along with all of that. Your online programs, your on-site programs, your e-store versus your on-site store, all those things are really important, but I encourage you to take a look at. Sometimes we are just adding just for the sake of adding. We just think it's going to be the next best thing. But it is important to pause and take a look at what are all your revenue streams and do a true profit and loss on each one, see where they are, see which ones are really performing well. It might surprise you sometimes, and to see which ones really are underperforming or actually costing you a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of headaches. So we need to do that thorough investigation into what it is you're offering, what's working really well, what you should continue, and what maybe you should stop doing because it's not serving you or your patients very well. So that is an honest evaluation. Numbers don't lie. So I want you to maximize your revenue streams by first taking a look at your revenue streams, evaluating them, and then looking at, do you want to add some other revenue stream? If you have an additional revenue stream or you want to add something, there is a formula that will help set you up for success. It involves doing your due diligence, building a bit of a business plan, having a champion in your office, putting together, I love doing blueprints, putting together a blueprint or a plan for how you're going to implement that. And that goes from how it's going to be systematized in your practice, how you're going to market it, how you're going to document your care, how you're going to follow up with your patients, how you're going to get testimonials. All that systematization will help to ensure success. And then, of course, tweaking along the way. So you want to take a look at what are you offering, what else might you be able to offer, and then going about that in a very systematized way and making sure that you are looking at the bottom line with everything that you offer each and every month. It's that important. So you want to maximize your revenue streams. The next thing you want to do in order to maximize revenue in your practice is to ensure and to create future revenue. And you do this two primary ways. The first one is with your current patients, and the other is with prospective patients. And it's a little bit of a different methodology for each one, but your current patients, if they're getting great outcomes, they're so happy and you want to have a lifetime relationship with them. You want to have a lifetime value with that patient. So it's not just something where you provide something. You want to always be coming up with some new service or product that is it's surrounding what you're currently offering, but you can actually come up with different things and listen to your patients and then offer potentially packaging things in a different way or some other service line, and then utilizing your current patients that you keep engaged with. You're providing them with valuable resources, and then you can also encourage them and promote these new products, packages, and services to them. Your prospective patients are the ones that are in your pipeline that you need to stay on top of. You need to be nurturing them along. You need to be keeping them informed of where they are in the process, whether it's for some aesthetic procedure, whether it's for weight loss surgery, whether it's medical weight loss, keeping them engaged, always letting them know the next step to get started, and making sure that your prospective patients are that's your future revenue. So we need to nurture them along. One thing people don't talk about a lot, I know I do just because I believe in it so much, is really building your own personal email list, because that is actually future revenue. So we have probably about 8,500 on our list, and this is past patients, current patients, prospective patients, all those. But when we promote something, of course, when you have an engaged group and you have a large number of them, you're going to have a much more likelihood of ensuring that future revenue, particularly if your heart is in the right place, you're offering services that do provide an outcome that they desire, and you're doing it in a very ethical and caring and educational manner. They recognize that, they understand it, and they appreciate it versus some fancy ad or something that's just sort of more of a gimmicky thing. So even though people spend money on that for sure, but you want to make sure that you're ensuring future revenue. So that is the third way to maximize your revenue. And the fourth way is not to underestimate the value of testimonials, friends, and family. This is another place where you can have future revenue. Your current patients, when they get great results, you want to capture that moment. And a lot of times I'll talk to practices and I'll say, I'll be coming to their practice, or we're going to be doing some videos, or we're doing some graphic posts or something like that. I'll say, line up some testimonials. And it's like, line up some testimonials. What do you mean? It means you have to ask for that. You have to find those people. And in the moment, you need to make sure that they know that you are so proud of them, and that you want to honor their work and their outcome and their effort. And you want to celebrate them and be able to have them help other people follow down the same healthier path. So those testimonials are important. And then friends and family come in From a referral standpoint, when friends and family see someone doing really well, it can be very motivating for them and they want to know, how did you do that? So you want to make sure that it is top of mind for them how to refer people to you as well. So that is a fourth way to maximize your revenue. I have all of this outlined very clearly in a free PDF that kind of goes through everything. If you just go to weightlosspracticebuilder.com/free, you can go ahead and get that in addition to lots of other freebies that are there for you. So remember, there are 4 ways to maximize revenue in your practice that I talked about today. Of course, there are others always, but the first one is to make sure that you increase your authority, protect that. Then you also want to maximize your current revenue streams and have a system in place when you add new revenue streams. You want to make sure that you are creating future revenue with your current and prospective patients. And then you never want to underestimate the value of a testimonial as well as friends and family. And that is my podcast for today. These strategies do work, and they're fun strategies, and I encourage you to utilize them in your practice, no matter what your specialty is, but particularly for all you weight loss practitioners out there. If you need help, reach out to me, Carol, Karol, at weightlosspracticebuilder.com. And if you haven't subscribed to the podcast, please do so. Share it with anyone that may find it beneficial. And if you're not a member of Bariatric Business Boss, or we're not working together in some capacity, I encourage you to at least check that out. It's bariatricbusinessboss.com. And until next week, I want you to take care and continue doing all the awesome things you do for your patients and your team and your community each and every day. Thanks so much and take care.